I call them my slut protocols, because my journey was trying to figure out how can I be promiscuous, how can I be slutty. I identify as a slut. Not everybody likes that word, and so you don't have to use it. You're not broken if you don't like the word. Use a different word. But so it was, how can I have casual sex with people and leave everybody happier rather than more upset or angry? One of my mantras for myself is leave the campsite better than you found it. And so I was struggling with, having casual sex with these people that I really enjoyed. And we would just become like emotionally entangled and enmeshed with each other. And it was creating more friction, more difficulty than it was creating ease. And I wanted things to be easy, and the joke is, it's not easy being this easy. So there's no one talks about mindful casual sex and how do you leave the campsite better than you found it? And so for me, in my journey of being, a good slut, which meant not just being good at having sex with a lot of people, but being good at having people feel awesome and their lives feel less complicated by having slept with me. So that's where my name for myself is these are my slut protocols to be a good slut. I will also call them my casual sex protocols and talk about this idea of there's casual people. There are casual where people are just trying to keep it casual, but it's not very mindful. And then there's mindful casual sex. And the protocols are really about understanding for, most people, generally speaking, what has us imprint on each other, which I think is different than chemistry. Because you can like somebody and have never slept with them. And there's just that thing where you're just what is that thing? Now, for some folks, that thing is that they remind you of your parents somehow, and that you're trying to, you want a second start at doing your parental relationship and getting it right this time. So not everybody, but a lot of people. Not everybody, but I certainly did it. I was attracted to these people. I'd be like, oh my God, I feel like I've known you my whole life. And it was because I did. You're like my mom, or you're like my dad, or this family dynamic, which I have known my whole life. And I just want to get it right this time. I want a do-over. And so I think everybody, in the same way that it's good advice that everybody should work in the service industry for at least 2 summers, so you realize that it can be really shitty being a waiter. I think if I'm going to make a broad generalization, as a sex nerd, it's use lube. That's the broad generalization there. When it comes to genitals, lube, folks.
Yep.
When it comes to safer sex, condoms, folks, if it's penetrative. When it comes to people, go work on your family, your mom and dad issues. Most people have them. They might be buried a little bit. You may have to dig around. But work on your mom and dad issues in therapy. And when you crack that code, you are not working on your mom and dad issues in your personal romantic relationships. Oh my God. Trust me on this, folks. And if you're watching this and your partner's sitting next to you and you're like, you're my dad. It's okay. We all did it. And you can have conversations about okay, so I'm going to go see this therapist. You go see that therapist, and we'll work on our stuff on our own, or family constellation therapy, or there are workshops out there. You have the blessing of the internet, and it's we live in the 2000s now. There's all kinds of workshops and things you can go work on those things. I'm not going to say which one is the perfect one, because I think everyone has to find the one that works for them. But that you're even trying to work on that stuff is so huge and puts you in a different category of people. people who are like, wow, you know, I haven't worked through all of this, but I know I have this savior complex because I tried to save my mom, who was an alcoholic.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I tried to save my family. So I work on that, and I try to then not date people who need saving, because it's a weird power dynamic, and they need to go save themselves. And my mom and dad needed to go save themselves. They just never did. And that's sad, but it made me who I am.